cookies and milk. Now go to sleep.
I'll try.
Go to sleep.
Not like that. Sing them a lullaby.
Dream, 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 dream.
Your turn.
Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream and get us out. Dream, 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 dream. Hit the hay, fast asleep, dream a dreamy little bleep. Dream, 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 dream.
It's working! Keep it up, Shark Boy!
Just relax, lay about, or my fist will put you out. Dream, 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 dream. Take your time, but beware, there's darkness in the air. Dream, 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 dream.
Dream about me next, Max. I need to know who I am. Not just destruction, or a simple flame. Dream of me as something good.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the 45th video of this little series we have got going. And the movie of the week is none other than The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. The song that you were listening to is Just the Dream Song, sang by Shark Boy, or Taylor Lautner. It's a great movie. It's kind of coming off of the movie last week, which was We Can Be Heroes. So We Can Be Heroes gets its inspiration from this movie. So if you really like that movie, I would 1000% recommend this movie. And if you didn't like that movie or didn't watch it, still watch this one, because this one was an actually amazing movie. With that being said, topic of the week is just relating decimals and fractions. So we had our introduction to decimals. You know a little bit about them. You know what their words are. You know that this means 5/100ths and 1/10. You know that this means 5/10ths. You know how to talk about decimals, and you know how to talk about fractions. You know this is also 5/10ths. But why don't we put them together? Now it's very simple. Each place where the fraction, we're not going to deal with actually this, we're just going to deal with these two. The last number in the decimal, the number to the most right, determines what the bottom or denominator of the fraction will be. If there's only one number like this, then there's a 10 on the bottom. If there is multiple numbers like this, two numbers, then there is a 100. If you really want to go far and there's three numbers, there's 1,000. But we're not going to get that deep. We're only going to deal with the tens and the hundreds. So as said before, I'm going to do these two examples. Figure out their denominators. I don't care what's on the top. I don't care. Tell me what would go on the bottom. For this one, remember we said it's only one number. So we put a 10. Also, the way you can figure out is it's in the tens place. The farthest number to the right is in the tens place. Thus, we use a 10. The farthest number over here is in the hundredths place. So what do you think we're going to use? Exactly, a 100. Now, let's say we take those same numbers. We figured out that their denominators are 100 and the 10. Now, what do you think goes on top? Your guesses are right. 5 and 64. Whatever this number is, goes on top. Whatever this number is, goes on top. It's pretty simple. Now I'm going to give you 3 numbers, and I want you to write them in their fractions form. Now, as you are doing this, quick note, obviously this is going to be heavy on fractions, so if you did not watch fractions, you need to know fractions before learning decimals. That's just how it works. I'm sorry. Please, please, please brush up on your fractions. Please watch our videos, know your fractions, because I will be acting like you know your fractions in and out. I will not be teaching you about fractions. I'll be teaching you about decimals. So with that said, the first one, the last number is in the hundredths place, thus there's 100 in the denominator. This entire number is just 74, so we put 74 on the top. This one on the bottom is an 8, but it's in the tens place, so we put a 10. It's just the number 8, just the number 8. We have 69. The 9 is in the hundredths place, so we put it 100 in the denominator and just put the number over here. That is all that we need. Now, I'm going to give you fractions. Why not? And I want you to convert these into decimals. Just do what we did, but reverse it. Okay, so if you didn't finish, pause it. I'm just going to go through. Obviously, we have our 0 dot. For now, we're just going to put a 0 because we're not writing anything to the left of it. We're not doing that yet. We'll be getting to that, and I'm pretty sure the next or this video after that. But 0, so whatever goes in the decimals places. We have a 10, so only one number goes here. The number is, well, 7. We have a dot, 100, 2 numbers go here. They're both ones. 100, 2 numbers go here, 52. It's that simple. This one's just going to be a 4. So whatever I put in the numerator, that just gets put on the decimal. Say I put 15 in the numerator over 100. Doesn't matter if this was 100, but it matters for in the future. But for now, put the 15. But this is why I'm teaching you hundreds to places, because there will be times when I put a 115 over 100. You can't write 115 before the decimal place. That's wrong. So for now, whenever you see 100 or a 10, you must know that since it's a 10, only one number goes to the right of the decimal. Since it's 100, 2 numbers have to go right of the decimal. You need to know that, because there will be times when I put like a 17 here or more numbers here, and you don't put more numbers here. You put more numbers here. So just be careful with that. I know you're saying, oh, it's an 11, so I put an 11 here. No, you really need to think about it, because when it gets complicated, I don't want it to be as complicated. This will simplify it. Learning it this way will help you in the future. Trust me on that. Now, that's basically the entirety of the lesson. We kind of brushed up on everything. If you do need to cover if you need a bit of a refresher, then please, please, please watch this video again. But just one thing about the worksheet. It's like I picked a lesson 21 worksheet. That has a couple of things that I want to talk about before I actually send you off, but those are just extra things that you really don't need to know of. The basis of the lesson was talking about converting that. And as you know, the only denominators are 100 and a 10. We're not going to be talking about anything. We're not going to be talking about 99, a 1 million, or 1,000, or a 52 as a denominator. Just these 2 denominators into decimals for now. Obviously, as you get older, it'll get more complex, but that's what we're doing right now. Now, about that worksheet, you can, if you don't want to do that worksheet, you can stop watching the video right now. Do the other worksheets. We covered all of that information, but just so you can get through the worksheet, just so you can get through that worksheet, let's say I have a 5 over 10. and I actually wanted to write it as 100. What would you think I would do? Well, we know our fractions. So whatever we have to do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. Since we multiply by 10, we got to multiply by 10. So this would be written as 0.5, as we know, and this would be written as 0.50. Same exact thing, just adding an extra 0. You're going to see that. Now this thing, I expect you to know. I expect you to know that you multiply by 10s, 10 over 10 to get that, because that's what we brushed up on in our videos in here. If you do not know that, please watch our videos on that. As I've been saying, you need to know your fractions in and out. This is one concept that you do need to know. Now, the worksheet, also just scrolling through the worksheet, just figuring out what else we need to talk about. Okay. One thing about wording decimals that really isn't too important, but this worksheet does talk about it, and I will be talking about these numbers this way. If I have this number, I will not be saying 5/100ths 1/10. I will be saying 15/100ths. Now you're going to ask me, how do I know when to say hundredths or like thousandths for this one? Well, if there's two decimal places, two numbers, two digits to the right of the decimal, that means the denominator is a 100. That means we put a 15. How do we say this fraction? 15/100ths. So if there's two numbers, then you could say those two numbers and then hundredths. If I gave you only one number, it's 8/10. If I gave you this number, that's 2 spots. So we can put that here, and since there's 2, that's in the hundredths area. Since the rightmost number, the 0, is in the hundredths place, we say hundredths with the 80. So that's basically it, because they're going to be saying like 55/100ths and 5/10ths. They're going to ask you to do some addition with fractions. You're not going to need to know that for this lesson. If you want to brush up on your fractions, you can definitely use that as a helper. But we're not going to cover that. That worksheet really goes in depth on some topics. If it's really confusing you, look at the answer sheet. Try to understand it. If you can't understand it, it really doesn't matter. Toss the worksheet aside. Look at the other 4 worksheets that I have and their answers, as those 4 worksheets are the ones that you're really going to need to concentrate on. And for you guys just wondering, what's the lesson 21 worksheet? Well, it says lesson 21 on it, and it's mostly purple and white. So that the purple and white worksheets, that's what I'm referring to when I'm saying the lesson 21 worksheet, and when I'm giving you all these helpful hints, 80/100ths, to get through that worksheet. But that worksheet is actually very complex. I put it there for those of you who do want the challenge, but obviously you do not need the challenge. Not getting that challenge will not put you behind and will not put you forward. That is just to challenge yourself. Knowing the basics and knowing what is in the other 4 worksheets is more than satisfactory. So I hope you enjoyed this little lesson video here. If you are a bit confused, watch it again. If you are still confused, obviously, please reach out to me. I will be more than happy to answer any of your questions and explain a concept to you. But, all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little video here. Stay safe, stay cool, and stay learning. Bye-bye.